So, I wanted to have a discussion about something that happened last summer with some dogs and my horses. It's kind of hard to talk about it because it was scary. Kamani did get a small injury. I want to first off say no hate to the dog owners. This was a complete accident. So, we all know my horses go up to the lake house when the summer comes to go graze. And they have 3 dogs, which is fine, it's their property. And my horses have been getting used to their dogs through the fencing, connected to the pasture fencing, and everything's been going fine. I mean, the dogs bark at my horses, but whatever, just more desensitizing for my horses. We had talked, and we were moving the horses home in a few days, but they needed the horse trailer out of the way. The horse trailer was parked in front of something that they needed to get to. Fine. They hooked up my horse trailer and moved it. I didn't really like how it was parked. I thought it was kind of slanted since it was on a hill, and we put some blocks behind it and thought, okay, it'll be okay. It's like 2 days till they go home. We're not using the trailer. It'll be okay. So I had the horses on their halter and leads while they were moving it, just to take away some of that stress of the horses getting behind things while things are being moved, because we all know horses. And after we moved it, it was me, her, and her husband. And I went up and tied my horses to the trailer because I was going to groom them. That was my whole plan for going up there that day. And then they're like, hey, we need to move it. So I was like, okay, 2 birds with 1 stone. So they unhook their truck. It's a little slanted, but I'm like, I'm just grooming them. It'll be fine. It's not like I'm loading them or anything like that. So it's fine. Keep in mind, I'm half deaf in each ear. That is an important part of the story. So her and her husband went to pull in their big gates to pull the truck back in, and their dogs were at the gate. I'll paint this picture for you. So my horses are tied to the trailer. Trailer's a little bit slanted, but nothing major. I'm half deaf in each ear. There's 2 people and 3 dogs at the gate. 1 person is in the truck to pull it through. Husband's in the truck, pulling through the gate. The wife is opening the gate for the truck to go through. And I am up inside the horse trailer trying to find my shedding blade. Because they're coming home, they're starting to shed their summer coat. I'm in the horse trailer, half deaf, with my trailer slightly slanted, and my horses both tied to my trailer. As I'm grabbing things, the trailer starts to roll, and I hear screaming and barking and slamming, and I'm like, what? And then as soon as I go out, my trailer door doesn't really hold itself very well, so my door slammed on me and closed in on me, so I had to open it. Luckily, it rolled back less than a foot, but it's still terrifying having 2 horses tied to it and your trailer's rolling with no truck or anything attached to it to stop it. But I jumped out as fast as I could, opened the door, and I see Kamani rearing and slamming her nose, her chest, her legs into the trailer. I hear the wife and the husband screaming. I hear dogs barking. Kamani's rearing and hurting herself, slamming herself into the trailer. Avalon's kicking, and I am like, what in the heck? Things were happening so fast that I really couldn't see what was going on. Her dogs are big dogs. Let's just leave it at that. They're not pit bulls before anybody's like, oh my god, it's a pit bull and they're dangerous, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. Whatever. Okay? So I reach up and realize that the dog is under Kamani's belly and nipping at her belly, and that's why she's rearing and slamming into the trailer. She's trying to get away. She's stepping on the dog. She's kicking at the dog. Avalon is kicking at the one dog and biting at it. Kamani is rearing and slamming herself and kicking the other dog. And I'm trying to reach up and untie or unsnap Kamani's halter, but with her rearing and slamming into the trailer, there's not much I can do. The dog is literally underneath her, and she's kicking and stomping, so I can't really reach under and grab that dog without getting my face kicked in, right? Avalon's just snorting, biting, kicking. No one could get near Avalon. Avalon gets tight on the end, and she had so much room to move away from the dog, And so every time I tried to go and untie her, she would do the same thing. She would go back up against the trailer to where I couldn't get to her, and she was kicking. And the dogs are running. Nobody can get a hold of the dogs. Finally, I got a hold of one of the dogs, and right as I did, I believe the husband got a hold of the other one at the same time. I'm dropping to the ground crying just because of the stress and how scary that was. Like, to not be able to hear what's going on and have all that happening was terrifying, right? I'm worried about my horses. I'm worried about the dogs, right? Like, because, yeah, they came out and went after my horses, but they're still an animal. They still don't think the way that we think. And I'm going to feel bad if they're seriously injured, even though they went after my horses, right? I'm still an animal lover. I'm dropped to my knees, crying on the ground, and the wife comes over because we get along really, really well. And she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, why are you crying? Were you hurt?" And I'm like, "That was just stressful and terrifying." So I go ahead and take dogs in and check them over. I'm gonna check my horses over. She said, "Okay, deal." She went in with her husband. They checked their dogs over. They were completely fine. Probably have some bruising, but they're fine. I think they did take them to the vet. My horses, luckily, were unscathed, except for Kamani had one tiny little strip of hair on her leg gone, literally like a scab, and had like 2 drops of blood. So luckily, everybody was okay. The terrifying thing of the trailer moving and rolling slightly downhill was, oh my God, I thought my horses were dead. Like, I thought it was going to drag them. Like, it was terrifying. We're still great friends. The horses are still going to go up there this year. They built a separate yard for the dogs where they're not by the big gate. So even if they get out, they're still in the yard.